Hey everybody, this is Heartless Spartan here with another 1/6 scale figure review. Today I have the Star Ace First Moon Landing Neil Armstrong Lunar Module Eagle 10 A7L Spacesuit Deluxe version. I have had a love of and fascination of space science for a long time, so I am pretty happy to be unboxing and putting together this Neil Armstrong figure. I would have loved something like this when I was a kid, but they didn't really make any grounded or realistic space toys. Now, this is my first figure of the 3 Apollo 11 crew I plan to review. Michael Collins and Buzz Aldrin are also available for pre-order. For this figure, I will be doing a separate unedited assembly video that will be linked in the description and here on screen. For now, let's get into the review. Okay, so we're going to kick things off by taking a look at our box here. Now we have like 55th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. So here we have Neil Armstrong's box. Some cool portraits on the side. Now this is kind of a large box, so I'm having a hard time fitting it on camera. Now I am going to read through this because I understand several of my viewers use like translated captions, so I'm going to go ahead and read through this. It is the 1/6 scale collectible figure Neil Armstrong for the first moon landing. It's the Lunar Module Eagle 10 A7L spacesuit version. Now this is also the deluxe version that I have here. In celebration of the 55th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, Star Ace Toys introduces the 1/6 scale Neil Armstrong figure in authentic Apollo 11 Lunar Module Eagle 10 A7L spacesuit. This figure is a fitting tribute to one of the most significant moments in human history. As Neil Armstrong famously declared, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." This meticulously crafted figure embodies the spirit of exploration and discovery that defined the Apollo era. Prepare to embark on a historic journey to the moon with the highly detailed and meticulously crafted Star Ace 1/6 scale Neil Armstrong figure. With an authentic portrait likeness of Neil Armstrong, this stunning collectible piece immortalizes the iconic astronaut in his authentic Apollo 11 lunar module Eagle 10 A7L spacesuit, complete with intricate details that pay homage to the monumental Apollo 11 mission. Equipped with a portable life support system and oxygen purge system, PLSS or OPS, backpack, this figure authentically replicates the gear worn by Neil Armstrong during his historic moonwalk. The Lunar Extravehicular Visor Assembly, LEVA, features an adjustable sun shield and sun visor, while the Snoopy Cap and Extravehicular EV gloves add to the realism of this exceptional collectible. In addition to the detailed spacesuit, the Neil Armstrong figure comes complete with a rock hammer and soil sampling device, allowing you to recreate the moments of scientific exploration on the lunar surface. The figure includes a standard base, perfect for display in any collection or diorama. Whether you're a space enthusiast, a history buff, or a dedicated collector, the Star Ace 1/6 scale Neil Armstrong figure is a must-have addition to your lineup. Don't miss this opportunity to own a piece of space exploration history in the form of a meticulously crafted and highly articulated figure that captures the essence of one of humanity's greatest achievements. Experience the wonder of the Apollo 11 mission and celebrate the legacy of Neil Armstrong with his exceptional collectible figure from Star Ace. Goes on to say that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. Quoted from Neil Armstrong. It says it's officially licensed product and used with permission via NASA and the Purdue Research Foundation, which is pretty cool. Then we have some nice photos of our figure on the left side there. And on the other side, we have a portrait of Neil Armstrong and a little bit more of a biography on here. This is Neil Alden Armstrong. Born August 5th, 1930, passed away August 25th, 2012. I actually remember where I was. I was at a scout reservation leading a troop to their campsite in the woods when I got the news that he passed away. was an American astronaut and aeronautical engineer who in 1969 became the first person to walk on the moon. He was also a naval aviator, test pilot, and university professor. Armstrong joined the NASA Astronaut Corps in the second group, which was selected in 1962. On July 20th, 1969, Armstrong and Apollo 11 Lunar Module, LM, pilot Buzz Aldrin became the first people to land on the moon, and the next day they spent 2.5 hours outside the Lunar Module, Eagle spacecraft, while Michael Collins remained in lunar orbit in the Apollo Command Module Columbia. When Armstrong first stepped onto the lunar surface, he famously said, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." The A has the little brackets around it because the audio recorded then really didn't pick up the A, but Neil Armstrong kind of mentioned that. It's like, yeah, he kind of said A and he intended to say A, but the static in the recording just kind of omits it. It's really hard to hear. But that's a pretty nice box, and I like the little biographies and stuff they have on there. So let's go ahead and take this out. I'm going to do what I can to kind of fit as much as I can on camera here without knocking my microphone over. So I'm going to slide that out. Set our box off to the side here. And we'll take a look at what we get here out of the box. So it looks like we have a couple layers here. Just the main layer here. And then there is a little back piece here with the American flag and the rock hammer and the kind of like the sample scoop. And one of his gloves apparently as well. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of the stuff out of this packaging. That's going to take me a little bit. I'll set it up, and then we'll go over each piece. Okay, so here we have Neil Armstrong out of the box with all of his accessories and things. Tried to fit as much as I could on camera. The only thing that's kind of sticking off camera is the flag and somewhat helpful instruction sheet. It gives a little bit of instructions, but not super detailed information. And I usually wish they kind of included like an actual parts list that tells us the names of all the parts and accessories that they come with, but they don't, of course. But we'll go ahead and take a look at Neil in his A7L spacesuit. So, let's see. I think I might actually be putting him together during this video because I don't think there's too much here. Hopefully it won't take me too long. But let's go ahead and take a look at his head sculpt here, which is very nicely detailed. Has a lot of close detail on there. You can see a lot of the spots on the skin there. Even has like the big ears that Neil has. The very deep blue eyes there too. That's cool. There's a common smirk that he has. So, I mean that looks a lot like him. I think they did good on the head sculpt. Very cool. And then we can see his part of a suit on the inside there. The locking mechanism on the metal collar here for a spacesuit. Let's go ahead and back out here a little bit. We'll take a look at all of the connections. Have a nice NASA patch there. There's the Apollo 11 patch there with the eagle. Very cool. Like all the little buttons and stuff on here too. Like, even, like, as a kid, I was always, like, fascinated by the spacesuits in that. I always thought they were really cool. And it has a real, like, I'm sure that it's, like, stuffed with foam to give it that feeling and look. But it is, like, nice and thick and kind of like plush. There's, like, a foam in there that makes it, like, thicken up like that. That's cool. That's an interesting material there. It looks cool. I am worried about that kind of aging and cracking, though. It looks like one of those materials, unfortunately. So I think if anything were to go on this figure first, it would probably be that, just with time. I think there's very little we could do about that, but it does look nice right now. There's like a Velcro backing on here, but I don't think we're really supposed to take that off. Maybe we can take a peek here. Okay, there's like layers of Velcro, and then I think it's like glued at the top, so I'm not gonna mess with that. I don't think we're really meant to. I don't think he has like a flight suit or anything underneath that. Or he might. I know that you can put like the regular boots on him. His gloves look pretty cool. Oh, and they do that like that turning thing too, to where it like takes the wrist with it. That's cool. And all the pouches and stuff on the knees. That extra padding there so they can kneel down if they have to, or at least try to kneel down. And quite literally the moon boots. I don't know if there's a special name for them off the top of my head. Maybe I'll add it to the parts list. At the bottom there we have Neil Armstrong and the Purdue Research Foundation and Star Ace Toys. But this is really cool. I like this. Now, articulation. Let's check the head. We're definitely going to get some head turning. Only a little bit of pivoting, but I don't think, I mean, honestly, when you get like the dome on there and then the rest of the helmet, there's not much movement to happen anyways. And then, of course, the spacesuit itself is just going to be like super limiting. I can't imagine like how heavy and how bulky and how difficult it was to move in these in real life. But it's got some articulation on there. You're not going to get a whole ton out of that. And I don't really want to push it too far, because if I pull something out of a socket on this figure, I don't want to know how hard it is to pop it back in place. I also got to work on finding his joints inside the suit as well. So we're going to get a little bit of wrist pivoting and turning, but it's going to take some manipulation if you want him to look a certain way. And my recommendation is don't rush through that. Legs. I'd say that's about as high as he's going to kick up and out. And then bending the knee. We could actually go about 90 degrees with the knee. That's pretty good, actually. And then the foot is just kind of on like, sort of like a ball joint. But I think it's actually like a peg that's letting it move around. So I didn't expect much articulation from this figure, but we can pose it. It does have some articulation. Not at fault of the body that's under the suit, but more so just the suit. It's going to be limiting. All right. So let's actually take a look at his earpieces and his Snoopy Cap, because it's going to be like the next thing I'm going to put on him here. So we have like these kind of semi-rubber earpieces, the little microphones on there. Push that through the little band so that it hugs it. Of course, we have that like brown and white Snoopy Cap. So let's see how we can get that on him. Hopefully without too much trouble. I want to get my chin strap underneath there. I don't know. I might have to review each piece and then I don't know. That might actually take me a little while. Okay, so I am going to have to do a separate video because that's just going to take too long. It will be linked in the video description and should be put somewhere at the top of the screen as like an info thing. But it'll be there if you really want to watch it. Alright, so we looked at Neil. We looked at his Snoopy Cap. Now, we do have like the inner dome. Like this would be the back part. Whoops. For like the back of his head. That would set on like the locking mechanism of his collar. And that would go on next like that. Now, these aren't glass. They're like they're a nice plastic, I think. Pretty clear. Hopefully I don't gum it up too much with my fingers. Then, of course, we have his visors and the sun visor. This has a nice kind of somewhat plush thickness to it. It does seem to Velcro together. So you can kind of pull that apart. It doesn't seem like it's really meant to. So I'll just Velcro that back together. Hold on a sec. There we go. Alright, so maybe don't pull that apart. But we do have these visors here that come down. So there's the clear one. You can see my thumb through it. So there's the clear one. And if I want to bring this closer to my camera here. You can see all of see that nice reflective visor there. Well, oh, and then of course we have the clear visor, and then we're going to have that reflective visor that comes down as well. And I don't really want to push it down all the way because I want to stay off camera. That and you don't see all the junk in the background. But as you can tell, even on the back side of the visor, it's kind of reflective. But that's pretty cool. But that will come down all the way. Well, let's see. Let's get this. All right, so up next is the Portable Life Support System and Oxygen Purge System Backpack. Which, this has a bit of weight to it. Nice hard thickness on it. Let's see, it has some text on there. Water reservoir recharge. All the drains and connectors and vents and things. Okay. I do like that they put all this detail on the inside here. That's really cool. Of course, all of the hoses and connectors. Hopefully I put those in the right places. We have a little bit more text. Let me get that into focus. Just to see what's on there. But I do like the way that looks. That's pretty cool. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 hoses kind of on one side. Maybe 5 because that's also going that way. And then like 3 going the other way. Right, and those don't turn, so I imagine all of those are supposed to go on one side and all of those are supposed to go on the other. So, nice backpack. Alright, here we have a pair of swappable boots. Now, it seems like his feet are made into the boot, so if you pull the moon boots off, like his feet are made into the moon boots as well, and you have to, I guess this peg joint also needs to come out with those. Bottom looks kind of neat. Alright. Then we have our camera system set up. Now, I think this is the front here. And that would hook onto the front of his suit. And then this is like a panel for the camera. Like this slides up onto there, and then the camera hooks onto this end so that it like sticks out. But that's pretty cool. And this camera pack has all this little detail and parts on there, which is pretty cool. I like that. Not sure yet how this goes on there. I'll figure that out in the assembly video. And of course we have our video camera. It's not metal, but it does look cool. Doesn't have any like moving parts or anything on it. And we have 2 additional gloves that can hold stuff that are going to be swappable. Kind of wish they included additional wrist pegs. We get our rock hammer. It's not metal, it's molded plastic. And our sampling device, which is like essentially like a shovel with a scoop. It's not metal either, it's plastic, but it looks nice. We get 2 additional hands. And then this is actually metal. It feels like it looks and feels like it might just be aluminum. And then we have a nice American flag there with that metal rod going across the top that it's feeding through the top of the flag there so that it stays static like that and open. Because there's not really any air on the moon to blow it around there. All right. And then lastly, we get a nice little shiny stand there. Neil Armstrong's name on it. And that will pop onto there. And then this is adjustable as well. That'll come out. But we'll see how he stands on that in a little bit. So, pretty cool. Looking forward to putting this one together. Let's go ahead and get into a montage. This figure of astronaut Neil Armstrong is awesome. The detailing and materials used give it some heft and an authentic look. I'm slightly concerned about that silver material on the back rotting and cracking apart over time though. The accessories looked great. None of them were metal, but not a deal breaker for me so long as they still look good and function the way they're supposed to. I didn't have much trouble assembling the figure. Everything popped nicely and easily into place, including the hoses and the camera mount. The gloves pop easily on and off of a secondary glove part that attaches to the wrist peg, which I really liked. It made swapping the gloves so much easier and they stay on really well. I didn't notice while recording, but the sun shield also has 2 additional white side panels that can come down on the periphery of the helmet as well. Overall, I feel this is fantastic for a properly licensed figure. I don't have any other comparison on hand, but I am happy to finally have a realistic 1/6 scale astronaut in my collection, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the Apollo 11 crew. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment. It's always good to hear from the community and those that might know more about the equipment and history behind the figure. This has been Heartless Spartan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.